All right, guys, welcome back. This is part three, I believe. Um, so yeah, just to reiterate what I was saying in my first two parts, um, I basically, instead of writing out or tracing out the complete left side and right side of the helmet pattern for the Mandalorian helmet that I'm basically making, um, I got that pattern from Bill Duran's channel, Punish Props. Um, and yeah, so I had this idea because like I've been buying up, like a bunch of equipment. So you see my bandsaw right here. I have a vacuum that's like literally right down here. To like basically suck out any dust particles and whatnot. I bought a belt sander that I have yet to set up. Um, so this idea originated around using the belt sander. So these two pieces right here, as you can see, I have it marked. There we go. I have it marked left and right. Just flip that over. So yeah, left and right. Um, and like all the registration marks and everything on both sides. And when I cut these out using my bandsaw, I had noticed that there are some spots that are not, equal. They're not similar. So the right side has way more material than the left side does. I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah, you can see this right here. The left side has way more material, or the right side has way more material than the left side does. So I figured, okay, let me just pin these together, set up my belt sander, and just sand these flush. And then I was like, wait a minute, I could take that one step further, and instead of marking out the left and the right side of a template, I could just mark out the left side and do what I did here, which is pin them together and then just cut them out. And again, I tried that with these test pieces, and this worked. So thinking that this would work, it would save me half the time of cutting out all the helmet, like all the pieces that I have marked out on the foam. If I just mark out the entire left side, pin that piece like so to another side that's like equal in size, and then just cut all the pieces out like that. It would definitely save me a lot of time. So that's basically what I'm doing now. So if you know this part, this is, the cheek side or the beginning of the cheek. But yeah, um, so this part came out fairly well. And again, if I make any mistakes on one side, it's going to be on both sides. This blade doesn't wobble, so I don't have to worry about there being any unwanted bevels or anything like that. If there's any blemishes, that's due to my own error. So I already got this piece cut out. I'm going to do a couple of more pieces and see how that goes. But I already know how it's going to go. It's going to go good. So fairly simple piece right here. So again, it's going to get really loud. I'm going to have my vacuum and my bandsaw running at the same time. Okay? So yeah, there you have it. Perfectly mirrored piece. Any issues that's on one side is going to be on the other, so I don't have to worry about, one side being absolutely perfect and the other side having, like something wrong with it. And the reason why I pinned it is, um, things shift. So I guess like when you're going to use the bandsaw, I guess like the natural friction would make, if I did not have this pinned together, it would make more than likely the top layer shift a little bit. So to keep it from shifting, I pinned it together. Again, the idea originated around me using my belt sander to just basically smooth everything out and make sure that it was nice and even. And instead of doing that, I was just like, you know what, screw it. Let me just pin them all together and cut them out like that. But yeah, this is definitely going to save me a lot of time in cutting out all of these pieces because, just to make sure that I get everything cut right and evenly, it takes me about maybe an hour or so just to cut one side. So it would take me about an hour or so to cut both sides now. So yeah, I like to think of myself as an evil genius. Again, I don't know if anybody has thought about doing this. In all the video, like I said before, in all the videos that I've seen, I have yet to see anybody do something like this. So hopefully I am the first one to come across this. And if I am grateful that I had this idea because it allows me to contribute to this ever growing community. So again, hopefully I am the first one that had this particular idea in mind. And if I am glad that I was the first one to have this idea because I have brought it to you. Everybody that watches these videos that partake in cosplay, those who are thinking about doing it but aren't sure, should you get a bandsaw or should you get some sort of, heavy duty tool to help you better make whatever it is that you do want to make. I would definitely say it is a really good investment to have a bandsaw, especially like if you're pressed for time or if you don't want to spend too much time on whatever it is that you're making. If you don't want to spend too much time on whatever it is that you're making, then I'm just letting you know right now, this is the wrong hobby to have. This hobby is very time consuming, especially depending on what it is that you're making. But if you love cosplay and you don't have a bandsaw and you want to make armor pieces and or props, I urge you, you only have to pay for it once. And then every time after that, it pays for itself. Get yourself a bandsaw. You won't regret it. But yeah, I definitely really like this idea. And hopefully this works for you guys. Just make sure whatever pins you're using, that this does not block it. These are adjustable in height, so that's easy enough. But that's the only thing I gotta say. Other than the obvious, please be careful. Wear your protective gear, your protective goggles, because sometimes the particles could just like fly out at your face. I'm pretty sure I got a bunch of, itty bitty bits all over my face right now, and I wouldn't even know about it. There was one point where I was doing like a test cut for the first time of me using my bandsaw, and a small chunk, a very small chunk, not like a dust particle, but a small piece flew into my eye. So I urge you guys, any particular type of heavy duty machinery, be it an actual saw or bandsaw or what have you, always wear your protective gear. Okay, your eye protection. If you have like heavy duty gloves that makes you feel safer in using that, please do that too. But yeah, right now I'm about to get back to cutting the rest of my pieces. I have this stack right here. I got all these pieces to go through. And I got plenty of time. Everybody's on lockdown because of this craziness that's going on. Just to touch up on that, make sure you guys are doing what you have to do and need to do to keep yourselves, your loved ones, and everyone else safe. If you don't have to go outside, don't go outside. Just make sure, you wash your hands, all the obvious things to do in a particular situation like this. But yeah, just, stay safe, keep to yourselves. Again, if you don't have to go out, don't do it. And make the best out of the time that you're going to have because of this particular situation, So I'm making the best of my time by making a third set for the Mandalorian helmet. So, yeah. And on that note, I am going to let you guys go. As I always say, be safe. Please comment and subscribe if you haven't already. Definitely comment, be it positive or negative. I welcome all comments. Share this with anybody you think may find it informative or helpful. And yeah, as always, stay safe. Catch you in the next one.